Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ghana's Lounge. It's been a minute. I did long form. I've been doing shorts on YouTube, and so far so good. It's been fantastic because of you. You all have been showing me love, new subscribers. We started out with 0 subscribers and now we're over 100. I know a lot of creators come on here to celebrate milestones, and I think you are the milestone right now. You watching this right now, you made this possible, and I'm so grateful to be able to say thank you because we've seen some growth. But that's not all I'm here to talk about today. I'm here to talk about what we've experienced in the international break and the fact that we are back. We are back this weekend, and not just back, we're back with a major test. A major test, not because of the quality of the opposition that we're facing against, but because of the reputation they have for the North London Derby, that game where form goes out the window. It's the occasion, it's the event, it's the animosity, it's everything, the tension. Growing up as an Arsenal fan, it was always an edgy game. It was always a game where you don't know what's coming. Though you come into it with some confidence that we can always do a job on them. In recent past, we have been doing it, and most of the time we do it. But this time around, there is a little issue that we're experiencing in terms of the fact that we're going to be missing a major player. And now that brings me to the doom and gloom of the international break. One of the reasons why I loathe the international break is not because it's boring, which it is, and also not because, we're not really particular about international games. I'm a Nigerian. I wasn't really fascinated with what happened. Yes, we didn't make it to the World Cup, which is sad, but we move. Now, the major calamity that we experience is the injury to Big Gabi. And how that ties into the game is not just because he is one of our vice captains, but because he's a big game player of this magnitude. In the last 10 games we played with Tottenham, he has scored 3 goals. For a defender, for a centre back to have scored 3 goals in 10 meetings, that's a huge record. And that's, what I was expecting for us to come into this game with the confidence of all our players coming back from the international break without injuries and, getting back on track after the draw with Sunderland, bouncing back with a good win against Tottenham. But right now, we're a little bit on the edge considering the fact that the chemistry in the back line will be disrupted. Now, for me, I would say on the one hand, there is some gloomy aspect to it in the sense that we didn't expect it coming, but you can't foresee all of this, right? It happens. It's football. And that's why we all ought to be grateful for the wonderful transfer window. And Roberta, Mikel Arteta, they did a good job in the transfer window. We have the depth that we've been calling for, we've been begging for from last season. Now we can see it. And in this case, it comes in very handy. Now the question is, who's going to step in for Big Gabi? Because it's going to be a huge hole he's going to be leaving in the team. For me, I see Arteta going with Nkapie. And I'm happy we have Nkapie. Player for player might not be a total 100% clear fit, right? Because he's still getting used to the way we play, he's still getting used to the team, and the partnership with Saliba isn't really there yet. But from what I've seen so far, so good. I'm impressed. The pace, the aggressiveness, his one-to-one defending is solid. And I'm thinking that the only major thing that would miss from Gabi is the goal threat going forward. Now that calls for something. That calls for the pressure and responsibility to be on what we do on the attack. I'm seeing Saka turning up for this game with a major goal. And that's also going to take me a little bit back. I'm going to track back to the international break as well, because I know it's easy for our human brains to focus on the negative. The negative is that, yes, Gabi was injured. That's one major negative. It's over clouding and covering all the other positives that we could take from the international break. Now you would ask me, what are the positives? What are the positives? Femi, tell me. The positive is that we have Saka and Eze who scored in the international break. Not just scored, they scored sublime goals. I know some silly people try to give credit to some other people like Foden for the pass, which I feel was just a regular pass. But the finish from Eze and the finish from Saka, sublime. Those are the players we want to call on in this game against Tottenham to step up their game, to come up to this game with that level of confidence and performance to do a job. I know Saka for sure would do it, but I would love for Eze to also step up because in recent past, Yeah, he's been doing a job, but he's been playing it safe. This is not the Eze I know from Crystal Palace. I know he's going to take some time to get, assimilated into the team properly, but this is a game for him to stamp his foot as a fan's favorite. He already is a fan's favorite, right? But this will take it to a new level against Spurs, especially for the fact that he was supposed to be in Spurs, but we snatched him up. So, just like you did against Crystal Palace, Eze, do it again. But yeah, that's just me highlighting the positive. Now, if you're watching my content up until this point, thank you very much. It looks like you're enjoying what you're hearing right now. So please subscribe. That's the way you get to support me, and I will be delivering every time. From the shorts to the long form, I'm going to be here. I'm not going anywhere. Arsenal is the love of my life after God and my wife. Catch that? All right. So I would say that we are going into this game a little disheartened with the fact that Gabi is not going to be there for us. He's going to be out for probably, 1 to 2 months, which is a very long time for the player of his caliber. But I think the depth we have in the squad, especially in the defense, is good to go. I'm just very grateful for the fact that we have Saka to have scored in the international break and played quite well, fantastically as well. For Eze to have scored that, confidence boosters for them to keep on the momentum, come in and do a job. But another reason I'm very grateful is the fact that, yes, Zubimendi also scored a very good goal. Yeah, just before I forget, Zubimendi scored a fantastic goal for Spain. Declan Rice played almost all the games for England, if not all, actually. Tuchel, why do you keep playing him all the time? Now, those two players that I just mentioned, in Zubimendi and Rice, those are guys that I don't want to have injured, because if you look at our team, the depth in those positions is not as qualitative as the ones we have for the defense. What do I mean? If you look at the like-for-like replacement for Zubimendi, it's going to be Christian Norgard. That's a mile. That's a huge gap of quality that we're going to be missing. If anything happened to Zubimendi, that would have been detrimental to the way we play. Same also for Rice. Who's going to replace Rice? Merino? That's supposed to be our striker in this game coming up. Thankfully, they were not injured. I'm just saying this so that we are not coming into the weekend panicking. I've been seeing a lot of comments from different fans panicking about the fact that Gabi is going to be missing and we don't know what's going to happen as far as our goal options. But come on, relax, guys. Relax. This is Tottenham. I'm not going to say anything derogatory about Tottenham, but you know what I mean. We can do a job against Tottenham. I'm going to talk about my predictions for the game at the end of this video. I'm also going to talk about my predicted starting 11 that I would like to see. And I'm going to try and fit it to what I think would actually happen in terms of the predicted 11. But altogether, I am so grateful for the depth we have in the squad. It's going to take us the long way, because right now, Man City are on a run. They had a draw a while back, but that was a draw from Arsenal and a loss from Aston Villa. Yeah, that was their last recorded loss, Aston Villa's loss. Which makes me think that, yeah, we're going to be losing points. We're going to have our opposition lose points. That's as far as title challenge is concerned. Man City are also going to drop points. But what gives me confidence is the fact that we have the depth to go all the way, right? My predicted 11, if I'm going to get to that, because I don't want the video to be too long, I'm going to get to that quickly. Raya in goal is going to be my keeper, obviously. Nobody's going to take that from him right now. Then in the left back position, Calafiori. Calafiori is going to be very, very, very instrumental because he's also a goal threat, just in case you've forgotten. Then, as a centre back, we know Saliba is going in there for sure. I would like to see, and I know Arteta will probably go with Hincapié. Yeah, I know a lot of people are contemplating Mosquera because Mosquera can also play in that position. But one thing I know for sure is Arteta likes a left-footed player to play in the left position of the centre back, right? So Hincapié, fantastic left foot player. He's going to do a job there. He's also, very fast. His press is usually very high. And we know that he also is a goal threat taken from his work with Leverkusen. So Saliba for sure. And on the right, Timber. Thankfully, Timber came back from international break without injury. That's another thing I'm grateful for. In the midfield, staple. Eze is going to be there. We know Odegaard is still yet to be fully fit. So Eze is going to play in the 10, Zubimendi and Rice. Staple. Then we have on the right wing, Saka. On the left wing, Trossard. Down the middle, ha. I was hoping the Gyökeres would be fit by now, but it seems that we're not going to be having him for the game on Sundays. So I would say Merino. Yeah, it's awkward, but the fact is he's our best bet. I know Jesus is coming close. I don't know if he can get some minutes in a competitive match like this of this magnitude, though I do not doubt his ability to show up in big games, especially in the Champions League, but this is not the Champions League. So let's just focus on what we're quite sure is available to us, and that's Merino. My prediction for the game, 3-1. Yeah, Tottenham, let's not take away from the fact that they've been very good on the road. So I'm suspecting that they'll put in a goal, but I'm expecting that we actually do a good job in putting in more goals than they do. So 3-1. And if it's a clean sheet, I'll take it. But right now, I'm not quite particular about clean sheets anymore. What we are most interested in is 3 points. 3 points. Thank you guys for listening to this so far. I would really appreciate your comments for the prediction for the game on Sunday. What do you predict for the game? Even if you're not an Arsenal fan, you can put your prediction. I know we have a lot of haters, and I don't mind haters. I like to banter. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'll come back here, maybe short form, maybe long form. I don't know, but you'll see my page, Gunners Lounge, will drop a content post game, good or bad. I'll come here and talk about it. Thank you so much. Peace out, everyone.